Social defense and juvenile in conflict with law, juvenile delinquency. Social defense. A definition. Social defense refers to the range of policies, services, and interventions designed to protect individuals and groups who are vulnerable, disadvantaged, or at risk of social exclusion. It aims to prevent deviant behavior and rehabilitate those affected by it, ensuring their integration into mainstream society. According to the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, India, social defense includes efforts aimed at the welfare of older persons, drug addicts, street children, beggars, transgender persons, persons in conflict with law, e.g., prisoners. It is thus both preventive and rehabilitative in nature, grounded in social justice and human rights. B. Philosophy of social defense. The philosophy of social defense is rooted in humanitarian values and the belief that all individuals deserve dignity, protection, and opportunities for reintegration into society. Its key principles include human rights approach, respecting the rights and dignity of all, especially marginalized groups. Social justice, promoting equity and inclusion in access to welfare and justice. Preventive action, addressing root causes of vulnerability and deviance, e.g., poverty, addiction, abuse. Rehabilitation and reintegration, not punishing but supporting affected individuals to rejoin society. Community participation, involving civil society and families in preventive and rehabilitative processes. Restorative justice, moving beyond punishment to reconciliation, especially in juvenile and prison settings. C. Changing dimensions of social defense. Expanded focus areas. Earlier, the focus was mainly on juvenile delinquency and crime prevention. Now, it includes a wider range of social issues such as drug abuse, elderly care, HIV/AIDS, and the rights of LGBTQ+ communities. Shift from institutional to community care. Traditional reliance on institutional care is being replaced by community-based rehabilitation. Emphasis is now on rights-based frameworks and inclusive services within communities. From legal interventions to social work approaches. Earlier emphasis was on custodial and legal interventions. The current trend favors psychosocial support, counseling, and rehabilitation through social work practices. Transition from passive to participatory welfare. The old model of passive welfare, top-down support, is giving way to participatory, developmental, and inclusive policymaking. Stakeholder and community involvement is encouraged in the planning and delivery of services. Broader target groups. Initially, social defense catered to a narrow segment of the population, like delinquents. Now, it includes transgender persons, migrants, persons with disabilities, and other marginalized groups. Influence of societal changes. Factors such as globalization, urbanization, substance abuse, population aging, and identity politics have significantly reshaped the priorities and practices of social defense. D. Social defense movement in India. India's social defense movement has developed alongside constitutional values and welfare policy frameworks. Pre-independence era. Reformist movements by social reformers, e.g., Raja Ram Mohan Roy, addressed issues like child marriage and sati. Early initiatives for prisoners' rights and child welfare by NGOs and missionaries. Post-independence era. Constitutional mandate, right to equality, protection from exploitation, and right to life. Establishment of Department of Social Defense, later under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Creation of laws and schemes. Juvenile Justice Act, Probation of Offenders Act, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. Integrated Program for Older Persons, IPOP. National AIDS Control Program, NACP. Transgender Persons, Protection of Rights, Act, 2019. Role of NGOs and civil society. Active role in rehabilitation, awareness campaigns, legal aid, and social reintegration. Examples, Tihar jail reforms, NACO-led HIV awareness, and community support for transgender people. E. Emerging issues in social defense. 1. Drug abuse. Challenge, rise in substance use among youth and urban poor. Issues, health deterioration, crime, family breakdown. Response. National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction, NAPDR. De-addiction centers and awareness campaigns. Community-based interventions and school counseling. 2. Old age, aging. Challenge, growing elderly population, abandonment, and elder abuse. Issues, health insecurity, loneliness, lack of income. Response. Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act, 2007. Schemes like IPOP and National Program for the Healthcare of Elderly, NPHCE. Daycare centers, old age homes, and helplines. 3. Beggary. Challenge, criminalization and social exclusion of beggars. Issues, poverty, lack of rehabilitation, homelessness. Response. Some states repealing outdated beggary prevention acts. Shift towards welfare and rehabilitation instead of punishment. NGO involvement in livelihood training and shelter homes. For HIV/AIDS affected people. Challenge, stigma, discrimination, limited access to treatment. Issues, social isolation, loss of livelihood, family rejection. Response. National AIDS Control Organization, NACO. HIV/AIDS, Prevention and Control Act, 2017. Free art, antiretroviral therapy, and awareness programs. 5. Transgender persons. Challenge, legal recognition, discrimination, lack of employment and housing. Issues, social ostracism, violence, health risks. Response. Transgender Persons, Protection of Rights, Act, 2019. Welfare boards, identity cards, inclusive policies, education, jobs. Social sensitization and community support programs. 6. Prisons. Challenge, overcrowding, mental health issues, lack of rehabilitation. Issues: violation of rights, recidivism, poor reintegration. Response: Model Prison Manual 2016. Focus on correctional methods, education, vocational training, counseling. Open prisons, parole, and NGO interventions, e.g., Tihar jail reforms. Juvenile in conflict with law, juvenile delinquency. A description. A juvenile in conflict with law refers to a person under the age of 18 who has been found to have violated any penal law of the country. The term replaces juvenile delinquent in modern legal and social work discourse, promoting a child-centric and rehabilitative approach over criminalization. In India, the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children, Act, 2015 defines and governs the treatment of juveniles in conflict with law, ensuring care, protection, and rehabilitation rather than punishment. Juvenile delinquency refers to participation in illegal, antisocial, or criminal behavior by minors. It may range from petty theft and truancy to more serious offenses like assault, drug use, or gang activity. Juvenile delinquency is both a social and psychological phenomenon, influenced by various personal, familial, and societal factors. Deep factors affecting juvenile delinquency. Several interrelated factors contribute to the emergence of delinquent behavior among juveniles. Competence, cognitive and emotional. Low self-control, poor decision-making skills, and emotional instability can lead to impulsive and deviant behavior. Friends and peers. Peer pressure and association with delinquent groups can normalize criminal behavior and increase risk-taking. Family. Dysfunctional family environments, broken homes, domestic violence, and lack of parental supervision contribute significantly to juvenile delinquency. Inadequate educational opportunity. Poor access to quality education, school dropouts, and lack of vocational skills lead to frustration, unemployment, and deviant alternatives. Interest and motivation. Lack of positive role models or constructive goals may lead juveniles to seek thrill, attention, or material gain through deviant means. Cinema, pornographic films, and literature. Exposure to violent, sexual, or criminal content can influence impressionable minds and glamorize deviance. Parents. Neglectful, abusive, or overly permissive parenting can fail to instill discipline and values in children. Financial crisis. Poverty, unemployment, and financial instability often push juveniles toward theft, drug peddling, or begging for survival. See Principles for Preventing Juvenile Delinquency. Wilson and Howell, 1933, proposed 5 essential principles for the prevention of juvenile delinquency, which are still relevant in modern social work and juvenile justice practice. Strengthen the family. Focus on improving parenting skills, family cohesion, and emotional support systems at home. Provide counseling and family interventions to address domestic problems. Support core social institutions. Schools, religious groups, and community organizations should be empowered to instill values, discipline, and a sense of belonging in children. Promote delinquency prevention. Emphasize early identification of at-risk youth and implement proactive strategies such as mentorship, awareness programs, and recreational activities. Intervene immediately and effectively when delinquent behavior occurs. Prompt action is essential to prevent minor offenses from escalating into serious crime. Non-punitive but corrective responses help redirect the child's behavior. Identify and control the small group of serious, violent, and chronic juvenile offenders. Targeted interventions should be developed for the minority of juveniles who commit repeated or serious offenses. This may include individualized rehabilitation plans, mental health support, and community-based correction.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video.